Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, welcome back to the Bible Bistro. This is Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute a day, 5-day a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse podcast. Listen, friends, if you want it hot and fresh, 100% organic Bible, this is the place to come. We do this every day, 5 days a week. And today we're studying Psalm 81, but we're looking at verses 11, 12, and 13. So if you have your Bible, why don't you turn open there, and we'll get started. Let me read for you beginning in verse 11. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up to their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. All right, we have two more of these hearkens here. The first one, actually the first two, were over there in verse 8. Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee, O Israel, if thou wilt hearken unto me. And as I did those verses yesterday, I said that the better probably translation would be, listen, O my people, I will testify against thee, O Israel, if you will listen unto me. This word hearken means for them to sit up and pay attention and listen to what he has to say. So he begins with, if you will listen, there in verse 8. And then here in verse 10 or verse 11, we have the next listen. But my people would not listen to my voice. So we begin with that great little adversative there, but my people would not. And it's just not that they wouldn't listen to him. No. Notice what he says there in the second half of 11. He says, Israel would none of me. So it just wasn't that they weren't going to listen. They weren't going to do any of it. They weren't having anything to do with the Lord. So he tells them in 8, if you will only listen. And then he recites the first two commandments and the introduction to the commandments, which the Jews call the first word. I am the Lord your God that brought you up out of the land of Egypt. He's trying to remind them of who he is in relationship to who they are, because he has created a covenant, between them. And then he says here in 11, but my people, they wouldn't listen to my voice. They wouldn't have anything to do with me. Verse 12, so I gave them up to their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Now, if we go back to, where was it, Psalm 79, we go back to Psalm 79, we find out that the Lord does give them up, right? Their lust was that they were complaining about him not setting a table for them in the wilderness. I still can't believe those words. And so he gave them over to what they wanted to do. Verse 13, oh, that my people had hearkened. There it is again. Oh, if they had only listened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. Now, do you notice the parallel between verse 11 and verse 13? Verse 11 was, my people would not listen to my voice. 13, oh, that my people had listened to my voice. And then also we have Israel twice. In verse 11, and Israel would none of me. And then 13, and Israel had walked in my ways. If the people had hearkened and walked in his ways, if they had listened and had loved him, then something wonderful would have happened. And we're going to find out what that something wonderful is tomorrow. Verse 13 sets up for us the what could have been scenario. This could have been. It wasn't, because verse 11 is in play. They wouldn't listen. But if they had listened, oh, that my people had listened unto me. And then we're going to find out what could have been in verses 14, 15, and 16. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow for those 3 verses on Daily Dose Radio. Hey there, friends. Just wanted to remind you to go out and get yourself a copy of my new book, Christianity to the Life, by Cotton Mather, edited by me, David Smith. You can find it at Amazon. It's a paperback. It's also in Kindle form, so you can get it for your Kindle or you can get it for your library at home, however you'd like to have it. If you do, I really would appreciate if you would write a review after reading it. Let me know what you think. And it's a really good book. It'll encourage your Christian walk with the Lord. So go out and get Christianity to the Life today on Amazon. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.